On the eve of the Oscars, the Anglo-Australian production The King's Speech is tipped to scoop the lion's share of awards, with Geoffrey Rush a frontrunner for Best Supporting Actor. He plays the Australian speech therapist Lionel Logue, who helped the current Queen's father, King George VI, overcome a debilitating stutter. The movie received an unexpected boost with the discovery of a treasure trove of original documents found in a box by Lionel Logue's grandson, Mark Logue. The ABC's Europe correspondent Philip Williams went to meet him in his North London home.
Feel the looseness of the jaw.
It's a story of a remarkable confluence of need and ability. A man who would be king in a life-changing relationship with an Australian speech therapist who helped him find the voice and the confidence to lead an empire.
Why should I waste my time listening to
Because I have a right to be, and I have a voice!
Yes, you do.
Unfortunately, I never met him, so I can never know really what the person was like. The only character I'm left with is Geoffrey Rush in the film. He's the first time I met my grandfather sort of face to face. And I hope that what he brought to the screen, informed by the letters and the diaries, was as close to Lionel as I'm ever likely to find. Well, this is amongst just a small collection of the stuff I found in this box in my dad's attic.
Amongst the hundreds of documents stored and forgotten for so long was the very first appointment card with the then Duke of York, the start of years of treatment.
And on first meeting, he writes of his mental state. He writes, quite normal, has an acute nervous tension, which has been brought on by the defect of a nervous disposition. And on his physicality, he writes, well built, with good shoulders, but waistline very flabby. And he goes on. But that's quite interesting, because that's one of the lines that goes into the film. So on finding this, Tom Hooper, the director of the film, kind of goes, this is amazing, this is gold dust, this is like lines that we can take, which are authentic lines that were said in the room between them. Let's use that.
The king?
The film chronicles the struggles and triumphs leading up to a speech to the nation in peril in 1939 and details the vital role played by an otherwise unknown Lionel Logue.
Fresh air.
Would there have been another individual that had such an intense and personal close-up relationship with him other than his wife?
No one. I mean, he was kind of brought into the heart of the royal family like no one else was. Lionel was attended nearly every speech, pretty much every Christmas broadcast from 37 till 44. The first Christmas broadcast the King made alone, without Lionel in the room, was 44. And that's on Christmas Day. So Christmas days were spent at Sandringham for Logue. Christmas meals were had round the family table with the royal family.
Was there anything about him being an Australian that made him different or in some ways made him more acceptable to the King, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. There's a certain relaxedness about his manner. He was very approachable, very compassionate. He was a good listener.
Can you just leave the windows for this rehearsal, and I want to see the wind happening?
One of the other things that really strikes me about all of this is the power of the Queen Mum in all of this, the central part she plays in the King's life, but also in her relationship with your grandfather.
I mean, without her, there'd have been no sort of king. Obviously she played a massive part in the cure and the exercises and making sure that he did the exercises and returned to Lionel, and she played a massive part.
All right, Bertie. It's actually quite good fun.
Mark Logue thinks the reason his grandfather's profound impact was largely ignored until now was a direct response to the Queen Mother's refusal to allow authors and filmmakers access to documents. That, he believes, was a response to a period she clearly found too painful to relive. But that's not to deny the closeness of a relationship that went far beyond the professional.
This is a letter from the Queen Mother after the King died, 1952, and it's a particularly sweet one because it kind of like confirms that his involvement, here she writes, I think that I know perhaps better than anyone just how much you helped the king, not only with a speech, but through his whole life and outlook on life. I shall always be deeply grateful to you for all you did for him. With again my heartfelt thanks, I am yours very sincerely, Elizabeth R.
When Mark Logue wrote the book about his grandfather, it opened a new world of relatives and connections to Australia.
I've had numerous letters from relatives, from patients, from just people wishing me good luck, and like literally hundreds. And that's been fantastic, because that's like the journey continues for me. I'm still learning about him and what he did.
Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Went up the hill.
The movie's already swept the BAFTAs, and it's hoped the same will happen at the Oscars. Thanks to a box of dusty documents and a determined grandson, this remarkable story has history and drama on its side.
Deeper, good. How do you feel? Full of hot air. Isn't that what public speaking's all about?
Philip Williams reporting from London.